Religiously motivated voters and reformers have played vital roles in American politics from the beginning of the American Republic to the present. But the antebellum era really stands out as the period during which evangelical religion was especially important to some of the major political reform movements in the United States, and maybe not so important again until the present day. Millions of Protestant Americans participated in religious revivals in the early 19th century, and it was the dominant form of religious life both in the North and in the South. Because early 19th century evangelicals believed that the second coming of Christ would come only after a period of struggle with evil on earth, they strived to prepare for Christ's return by making the world a better place. This doctrine of perfectionism, the notion that not only individuals but the nation could be perfected through their efforts, through aiming at being perfect, as the evangelical Charles Finney urged. By aiming at being perfect, they could make the world ready for the second millennium, for the millennium. And so they gathered together in a variety of reform movements, whether it was the temperance movement reforming drinking, school reform movements, Sunday school, the movement to abolish slavery. They took their aim and their purpose as making the world a more perfect place. They saw, by contrast, Catholic immigration as very threatening. One called it a threatening darkness of hell. They believed that the Catholic Church brought lax morality, drinking, and a connection to a foreign pope, which they saw as very threatening to American society and politics. And so evangelicals were also leaders in the nativist movement that opposed German and Irish immigration in the 1840s and 1850s in particular. By contrast, when we look at the recent engagement in politics by evangelicals today, that's been labeled the New Christian Right, that sprung up in the 1980s, organizations such as the Moral Majority, primarily these evangelicals, first of all, are much less optimistic about the possibility of perfection in this world before the millennium. That is, they believe that the second coming of Christ will precede the millennium, and that there's very little that can be done to rid the world of evil. Their engagement with politics has mainly been as a conservative force reacting against changes in American culture, such as rights to abortion, rights of gay Americans to marry, they have worked to promote school prayer and vouchers for private religious schools. Religiously committed voters of all denominations are more politically conservative than less committed Christians and Jews, and their religion contributes significantly to their conservative positions on cultural issues and issues related to sexuality. Religious rhetoric, religious organizations continue to be important players in national and local politics, but unlike earlier evangelical reformers, they're motivated less by millennial perfectionism than by alarm at the growing diversity and secularization of American society, and they have joined with other religious conservatives in their political campaigns.